So when new updates get added to Titanfall 2, or any game for that matter, I get excited to test out everything because I feel like the meta could change. You never know what's going to happen. And one of the things that was changed recently was across the board, SMGs were nerfed. Now, a lot of people were scared about this. I was definitely worried. My take on it is that even though they nerfed aim assist as well, if SMGs are just weaker across the board, people are going to have no use for them. They're just going to be like, you know what, if I want to win the game, I'm better off using a rifle in all instances. So I was really scared that SMGs would just feel worthless, especially guns like the Volt, which already felt lackluster before the patch. But after giving this gun and all the other SMGs a lot of playtime over the past few days, I feel like they're still in a good place, and that makes me so happy because I didn't want to be forced to use the R201 and the G2 or the flatline. Now, you guys know I do like to use my rifles, but I have a lot of fun using SMGs. I never wanted to feel forced to use the rifles, and I still don't feel like I am, especially with the Volt. You guys know I go through these phases where I just fall in love with the gun. So I was testing the car. The car still feels good. I was testing the R97, which I was never really a fan of to begin with, but it still feels fine. And the Volt, I understand the Volt was always a gun that needed some help, and now that it takes an extra bullet or two to kill, it still needs some help, but I just love this gun so much. There's something about the way it feels when you actually connect your shots, or the way it sounds when you're shooting your gun, and just the way the gun looks. I think the Volt is one of the coolest weapons in this game. Now, there are times where I will lose a gunfight because I'm using the Volt. Not because I'm missing shots, but because, let's say you get into a fight where both you and your enemy land all your shots, but because I'm using that Volt, I lose a fight, and I'm like, God damn it, if I would have had any other gun, I would have won that fight. If I would have had any other gun, I would have gotten that triple kill or that quad. But it could also be placebo, you know. But there are times where if my aim is on point, these guns still feel viable, and that's a good thing. I haven't really noticed a change. Like, when I'm getting a gunfight, I don't notice that it takes an extra bullet or two. I'm just going off of the actual patch notes. Like, okay, they were nerfed, so I guess that's what it is. But when I'm actually in game, I don't really notice that change. Maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys notice it. So I would like to know your opinion on this as well. Have you tested out the SMG since they were nerfed? What do you think about them? I think they're fine. I don't really notice a difference. If your aim is on point, you're going to get the kill for the most part. Now, there are definitely times where I still feel a rifle is better in certain instances, but I can still have fun with these SMGs, and that makes me happy. And while I do think the SMGs are in a decent spot right now, that's not to say that I think the Volt is perfect. It's actually the exact opposite. I think we all know the Volt needs some help. Hashtag bring the Volt back. Respawn, we want this damn gun back. So it was nerfed back in the day because it was overpowered on PC, but it definitely got over nerfed on console. I hope I'm not the only one that thinks this. Maybe I'm crazy, but I miss the Volt. I feel like right now there's no reason to use this gun other than the fact that it's fun. In my opinion, every other SMG has its role. Like, if you, depending on your playstyle, like let's say you want a good all-around weapon that isn't really a master of anything, but it's good in every category, you use the car. If you want to decimate anything that's in front of you, you use the R97. If you want an SMG that focuses on hipfire and allows you to move around more but still be accurate, you use the alternator. The alternator can also snipe from here and there. But then we get to the Volt, and it no longer has a specialization like it used to, and it makes me so sad. I feel like the Volt used to be the most accurate of guns. That was like its desired role. Yes, it had a lower fire rate compared to all the other SMGs, but it was very accurate. And now that's no longer a thing because they added some recoil to the gun. They added some view kick. It just feels awkward to fight at anything but close range with this gun. And even though SMGs aren't supposed to be amazing in long range, at medium to long range fights, I still feel fine using the car, the R97, or the alternator. But with the Volt, it's like, nope, I'm dead. I have to be very close range with this gun or I'm gonna get wrecked. So hashtag save the Volt. If you agree with me, put that in the comments. Let's let Respawn know that we want the Volt back. But Iniquity, I saw Benchy and 2OP Nerf OG using the Volt, and they had a 5KD in their games. Yes, that might be true, but those guys are also like pilot gods, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about us regular folk, us regular pilots with regular aim and non-godlike reflexes. The Volt needs some help, and that is all I will say on it. Save the goddamn Volt. I think I got my point across. But if we're talking about SMGs as a whole, SMGs in a nutshell, then I think they're just fine. They're not too weak, they're not too strong, they're just okay, and that's my take on it. And now we can talk a little bit about Monarch. So I'm sure you've noticed I have my ability to drop this Titan since near the beginning of the game, but I'm trying something different this time. I noticed in previous games when I have first to fall and I drop a Monarch, I just don't do well. Things just go badly for me. So I thought maybe things would go different if I wait till my teammates have their Titans out. Maybe some enemies have 2 or 3 Titans. Oh, there's a tone behind me. But yeah, I figured it would be better to drop my Monarch when there's more enemy Titans to steal shields from. This is just bad placement though. I had no idea this tone was here. Hopefully my teammates can back me up in this fight. I just need to abuse the energy siphon. You see how slow she's moving after she got hit with that? Alright, my shields are in a good spot right now. My teammates here. Was that a Ronin? Watch Tone die, boys. It's happening. I need to get this battery. Don't steal it. Don't steal it, Ronin. Oh, gimme. That's always a good feeling to get a battery for your Monarch. So, in this latest patch, they gave her 10 extra bullets to her default magazine. You no longer need arc rounds to have those 10 extra bullets. I mean, if you still use arc rounds, then you'll get 10 more. So by default now you have 40, and then if you use arc rounds you have 50, which I think increases her DPS overall. I don't really know by how much, but it's nice to have these extra bullets. The only thing is, I thought that now that they were giving her 10 extra bullets in her base magazine, that I wouldn't feel obligated to choose arc rounds, because that's really the only reason I ever chose arc rounds to begin with. But now that I look at these abilities again, or her tier 1 upgrades again, which are missile racks and energy transfer, I still feel like, at least for my playstyle, arc rounds are still the better choice. Every time I try using missile racks, I feel like I can never really take advantage of the extra missiles because they're so damn inaccurate, so I'm better off just shooting somebody with my primary gun. And then there's energy transfer, which I don't think I'll ever use it. I just don't want to be that support Monarch. I feel like it's not worth it to give teammates shields because you barely give them any shields to begin with. Maybe if it was buffed and you gave them more shields, or if you got some core meter for giving a teammate shields, then maybe I would try it out. But right now I feel like it's just really not worth it. It's not as much fun to just be an offensive Monarch. Now, I don't think they're bad because I've seen some amazing support Monarchs, especially in Frontier Defense, but for me, it's just not my sort of thing. I have a lot more fun slaying and doing damage, so that's my gripe with it. I thought this buff would change things, and honestly, nothing has changed, except for the fact that I have 10 extra bullets, which is always nice, so I can't really complain about that. This Ion has more health than me. We gotta try and take some cover. Wait, are my teammates helping me or not? I'm gonna be a scumbag and just hide around this pillar here. Probably like, God damn it, where are you? Alright, now we got some shields. Crap, I thought she had no shields left. I mean, I thought she was doomed. I wasted a lot of time. I definitely could have killed her sooner, but I tried to melee her too fast. That's the only thing. When I'm playing as Monarch and I'm using Energy Thief, I get way too hungry and too greedy for those batteries. Oh, hello. That's perfect timing. I will take that. There's also one more thing that I think arc rounds is so good for. I feel like my shots are more accurate. This might be another placebo thing, but I honestly feel like I have an easier time killing pilots than anything else with arc rounds. Is that just me? Do you guys feel like arc rounds are more accurate? I don't know. Like, most of the time, I think my aim with this gun, the XO16, is terrible. There's like no aim assist on this gun. It's so inaccurate, and I'm just crap with it. If I feel like I have to tap fire it, or I'm not gonna get a kill. But with arc rounds, I feel like I can spray it, and I just have more luck getting the kills. Maybe it's just a coincidence. So I've noticed that for the past few months that Monarch has been around, every time I post a video on her, the majority of people seem to think she's underpowered and not worth using. But now that Frontier Defense is here, everyone's just like, Iniquity, you need to use Monarch. She's overpowered. She never dies. So I think it's funny how, depending on the game mode, it can completely change somebody's mind on how a Titan works. I think that's very interesting. So I don't know. Do you guys think there's other Titans that work the same way, that they might be terrible or amazing in multiplayer, but then they completely change their role in Frontier Defense? I think more people enjoy Scorch in Frontier Defense, whereas I don't see too many in multiplayer. I think Ronin's kind of the same. I see a lot of Ronins in multiplayer and in Frontier Defense. I think Tone is less popular, to be honest. Tone is very, very popular in multiplayer, but I don't see as many in Frontier Defense. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you feel about Monarch. How do you feel about the changes to the SMGs? What do you think about the Vault? Should Respawn bring it back? Hashtag save the Vault. But either way, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Make sure you drop a like for me. I'll see you guys later. I will be live streaming on Twitch TV some Titanfall 2. Might actually try out some Lawbreakers later today since that's releasing as well. I love you guys. Peace.